Crochet Knit Love by Jo. I'm Jo and this is podcast number 14. Welcome back. Sorry, I've been trying to record this for the last hour. I'm actually getting quite annoyed with it. One of the neighbours decided to start sawing. It took me ages. I'm struggling with the setup and the lighting at the minute, so I was redoing that and they got their big saw out. Say no more. So anyway, welcome back. Where have I been, if anybody noticed? No, Anvita did, because I got a lovely message off of her wondering where I was. Thank you. I had these big plans that I was going to record the podcast the day before we went away. Stupid me. That didn't go to plan. Basically, I had a really busy working week, like the day job, the boring day job, and then getting stuff ready for going away. We only went away in the UK, but it's amazing how much you have to sort. Like we were going away in our old motorhome Doris, who has, you know, we've got all the bits and bobs in there, like your plates, your cups, you know, all the boring stuff, but it's things like your clothes. And with my son being on half term, he'd literally been a week before, he'd been in Wales with my brother and sister-in-law. Thank you for having him for a week. He had a whale of a time, but basically come back with a load of washing. So I'd wash that lot and then he dirtied it again. Obviously you have to do washing. Isn't it boring me talking about washing? It's rock and roll my life. Yeah, so I had to get stuff ready. My husband also works full time, so it involves a little bit of juggling and yeah, trying to get ready. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a podcast. I got everything out. I just gave up in the end because I was just getting too stressy. And the whole idea I do these podcasts is because I'm supposed to enjoy it. Although I've got stressy this morning and I'm really warm again because I've had to shut the window because of the noise. Yeah, just faffing. I have a lot of stuff to show you though. So if anyone's interested, we went to Devon, Dartmouth. Love that place, one of our favourite places. Went to Dartmouth. Where did we go from there? Did some day bits. What we do with the van is I actually drive our motorhome. Cole, my husband, doesn't want to drive it. He has no desire to drive it. She's only, I'm trying to think how big she is. 20, just under 21 foot. That's right. Yes, I was trying to do the maths then. But I'm quite happy driving. I've always driven big vehicles, so it doesn't faze me. So the only annoying thing is, if I do all the driving, you imagine how much valuable knitting or crochet time I'm missing out on. That's the only downside. But what we do is, a lot of people with vans, they'll go gallivanting off in their vans. We don't. We park ours up and we go on foot or on bus because we do enough driving during the week with our jobs that it's really nice to actually see things more. So we tend to do that. So we'll go out to a few random places. The first week we were away, it was our wedding anniversary. We've been married 12 years, together a lot longer than that. But also it was Jake's 14th birthday. So he's growing up quite a bit. And so we had all that. So I had all the stuff to plan for his birthday before. So yeah, just really busy. But we did enjoy our first week. Our second week, we were Crantock in Cornwall. So we did all the Nuki things. We did, we went to Lou on the way back in Cornwall. So we did a fair bit of sightseeing, lots of walking. And I took a massive basket. I've got one of those Sun Jellies bags, which I love, and it had all sorts of bits in it. In my head, I was going to do all this knitting, all this great stuff. Obviously, that would have meant not doing anything on holiday. I would have liked to have sat around a little bit more. But I did manage to finish some projects, which I will show you, and started a couple more. I'm not the sort of person that will do one project and finish and start. I have said that before. That will never change. But I did take a big basket. I will insert the picture of how optimistic I was, and basically a lot of it come back. It doesn't matter. I would get up. I normally get up really early, but I think it's not having the stress of home and work and just life in general. I actually slept in a bit longer, which was really novel for me. And yeah, it was a really good break. And what was quite shocking is the Hendy holidays in the UK are notorious for gale force winds, torrential rain, just a real traditional British holiday. We had hot weather. We had one downpour, which was great because it cooled it down a little bit. But the first week, it was actually too warm. But I'm not complaining. But I was very grateful for our canopy that we have. That if I was sitting down, you would find me under that. I'm not a mess. I can't cope with the heat anymore. So, yeah, we were really lucky with the weather. And we had a fan because obviously our little dog, little Ellie, gets a bit too warm. She's got one of those cooling mats. She's got a cooling collar-y thing. So we tried to sort of dodge the heat and go out later in the day. There was a swimming pool on both sites, which was good. Ellie's saying hello in the background. So Carl and Jake were in the pool a lot. I didn't really go in the pool. I'm not a fan of going in the pool anymore, but I can't knit in the pool, so I was quite happy. Carl would get me a large pink gin lemonade, and I would sit there with my knitting, watching them splash around the water. I love that bit. So that was really good, and Ellie was in the shade, so yeah. Anyway, enough holiday waffle. Hope a few of you have managed to get away. If you haven't, I hope you've managed to take some time off work. I think even if you're at home, just as long as you're not working and just having a bit of rest, makes all the difference, doesn't it? And in true Ellie style, because I'm sitting here, she's come in to crawl or basically walk over all the yarn again. But she doesn't touch Winnie's yarn. I would like to make that clear. She just likes to sit on my finished projects normally. Right, I have a lot to show. Where to start? So I'm enjoying my drink. I've been trying to record several times. Carl actually downstairs painting the dining room and kitchen. He told me to come up and film the podcast because I'm actually late. It's actually Saturday. And the idea is, sorry, my chair's still squeaking. The idea is I will film or upload on a Friday. Yesterday, I wasn't at work and that was the plan. I'm going to record it first thing. But Jake, obviously who I've mentioned, is 14, who's often with his friends now, has spent a couple of weeks with mum and dad, and we didn't annoy him too much. He actually wanted to hang out with me yesterday. So we went to Brighton, which was great. Any places I visit, I always look for a yarn shop. One thing I did find, there wasn't many yarn shops where we were. That was the only downside. Obviously, Carl was happy with that because I didn't spend any money, but I always like to go to a local yarn shop. Obviously, support your shops. But no, didn't really find many. But I'd already looked. There's a shop in Brighton. So we're about 40 miles from Brighton, along the coast. And there is a yarn shop in there called Yak that I think I actually follow them on social media, but I hadn't been to their shop before. So I popped in there and this is helpful, isn't it? Oh, there it is. And I got a skein of yarn. That my thing is, if I go into the yarn shops, I always get something I haven't got, so that I'm supporting the local business, but I'm also getting something new to try. And I've seen these before, and they are called Zorba Ball Crazy. Probably not said that right. You see that there? As I put my drink down, I was actually spilling it. You see that one there. This is, can't really see the colourway. It shows you on the back the colours. I'm hoping that's focusing. And it is 75% 25% nylon, so great for socks. It's got really twisted colours in there, and Jake actually picked the colour. he come in the yarn shop with me? We did a deal. I could go in the yarn shop and he could go. He's massively into skateboarding, and fingerboarding, to the point he's actually got moulds now and he's started making his own fingerboards. I think he follows his mum for being creative. He's really got kind of an eye for it. He was out there last night sanding boards down. So, clever boy. But yeah, that was the deal. I could go in the yarn shop. He went in the skateboard shop. And then we had a bit of lunch. It was lovely. Lovely day. Thanks for coming out with Mum, Jake. I don't even think he even watches this, but just in case you do. And yeah, that was the colourway. So that's what I got from my little yarn trip to the yarn shop. There actually isn't that many yarn shops. I think part of it will be because it's so expensive to run a shop. That would be my thing. That would be my dream job, to actually have my own yarn shop. I would love that. But it's expensive. And there probably isn't that much profit in yarn. I know there isn't with yarn dyeing. But anyway, I digress. I'm hoping you can't hear Cowls. Cowls currently singing. He can't sing. Neither can I though. But I keep getting little sounds. He's got the radio on and he's happily painting. But I don't know whether the sound's going to travel. So if you can hear him, sorry. So shall I show you some finished objects? I finished some more socks. Look at me. So I showed this one. This is on one of my little blockers. This was just a colourway that I had messed about with, different ways and techniques of doing it. Not massively excited about the colours now it's in, but I did my first trainer sock, shorty sock. But I do like the colours, but I don't know. I'm not convinced, but then we've all got different tastes. But these fit beautifully, I will say. Can you hear him? I don't know if you can. I bet you can if you've got earpods on. He's having a right little sing. Thanks for that. He's come up twice to talk to me for getting on podcasting. So I'm really sorry if it's obviously another polished performance by me. So yeah, I finished that one. I know on the last podcast, I think I was about to there. This is, I incorporate the pattern with the basic toe and slip stitch heel. They are Crazy Sock Lady pattern. I just seem to follow that because I've kind of memorised a lot of it, which is good for me. But also it actually fits really well. So that was my little trainer sock, or shorty as you call them. So I finished that one. I also, let me get these. This is all going to fall. I've got like a mountain of yarn here. I finished this one. Now, I only have one sock of each because basically I started another sock because I wanted to play around with the yarn. It doesn't matter, I should do the others. But I did this one, which I think I mentioned which yarn dye it was last time. So I can't remember. But I really like this colourway. It's got blues and pinks. And this is in double knit. Sorry, this is in double knit yarn. Double knit sock yarn or DK sock yarn because they grow really quick. So I did that one. Then I did this one while I was away. So when we were away, I started a shawl, which I should show you, which is somewhere over there. But it's one of those I needed to concentrate sometimes to do the pattern. So I decided that a sock was much easier. A lot of people do socks. So I had my little sock on the go. So this came on like boat trips with me and, when we were getting a drink, that kind of thing. And this yarn is lovely. It is... it's double knit and it's called Kingfisher. I've actually got 2 skeins of it. And it's by Cookston Crafts, who has started up her yarn website again. She took some time out to kind of do things with the business. I think have a bit of a change where she was dyeing. But yeah, and this is in her care box, which is every 2 months. And I highly recommend it. You get little treats in it and the yarn is lovely and it's called Kingfisher. Label's starting to peel off. But yeah, that's what it looks like there, and that's what it looks like knitted up. Which to me is, anyone could wear that colour. Wouldn't matter whether you're male or female. So yeah, that was the one I finished while I was on. Look at me with all the socks. I've still got them hanging up there behind me, if you can see them up there. Yeah, sock mad. I'm loving socks. So yeah, I need to crack on because I want to do some sock knits, Christmas knits, that's what I mean. It's there. So they are finished one. So I finished those socks. I can't remember whether I'd showed that other one. And then this is what's left of, I think it took, where I haven't used any colours on cuffs and toes, I think it was about 40 grams. So there's more than enough to do the others. They are there ready to be used, but I haven't done them yet. So I've got them to crack on with. Right, anything else? Any other finished? Oh, finished objects. Look at me. Till I've been away for a month. So I've mentioned before, big fan of Kate Celine. She does really nice yarns. Really good with speckly yarn. And I had got a number of her sets, but it was a DK set of, I think they were 20 grams. And she'd done a rainbow set, and I think she'd done 2 cowls for her daughters, like they'd got one each and they were rainbows. But I decided to do a cowl with more, just randomly. I did, how many rows did I do? 20 or just under. That's my cowl I finished. So I started this while I was away as well. Lovely DK yarn. And she, yeah, like I said, she does really good speckles. So I did that with like a turquoise 2x2 ribbon. And I use the long tail cast on, which I used to do just normal cast on. And I think it was last year I learned the long tail cast on. So good. And then I just did a slightly looser bind off. Hasn't been blocked or anything, or even washed. Literally hot off the needles, because I just had to finish a bit when I come back. So that's my rainbow cowl using Kate Celine's yarn. She also does a lot of free patterns on her website using her yarns, or you can substitute with your own. She doesn't mind. So yeah, that's that cowl. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. What else? What did I start? Oh, I started, but I didn't take it away with me purely because I just had too much yarn to take away with me. I mentioned this one last time that I wanted to start it. I'd had it for a little while. It was Shapey's yarn, and it was that huge shawl, and it was using Secret Garden yarn. And these patterns you can pick up, they're like £1 patterns, you know, the whole booklet. And I actually started it, but I did realise that I hadn't finished the row. I'm so naughty, I know. But it was with this yarn. So this yarn is 20% silk, 20% cotton and 60% polyester. So it's a really soft yarn. And yeah, naughty me, I haven't finished the row, so I can't show you properly because that would be too clever. It's on a short needle at the moment, but I obviously will need to extend it onto the larger ones. But I can show you from there. It's basically got yarn overs down here, down the middle of it, and obviously yarn overs here to increase. That's one of the ways of increasing. I think I'm going to love this shawl. It feels really nice. Obviously it's not blocked or anything, so it will grow once you do that. But the yarn, I really like the yarn. I like how it subtly changes. Got a bit of pink there, and then it goes into sort of fawn colours. But yeah, it doesn't help, because I realised just before filming that, you know how I've ended up doing that? I always will be like, oh, just got to finish the end, just got to finish the end. Even if, you know, everyone's going up to bed, I'll be like, right, I'm just going to finish. This is, I can guarantee, when I've actually fallen asleep knitting. So I'll sit there, my head will drop and I'll doze off. That has happened quite a few times. And that's why that. So that's how you know if I've dozed off from a knitting, because I haven't actually finished it. I am quite particular where I will finish it, just so I know where I am. I can mark it off on the pattern. But no, there's my sleepy knitting. So yeah, it will get a lot bigger. There is quite a lot of yarn left, as you can see. But that is I'm really enjoying that. But I haven't been able to do it because I didn't take it on holiday, so that's kind of been parked. But I've started it. So that is commonly known as a whip, not a whip, a work in progress whip. Do you like that whip noise? I don't know where that come from. I also, so this came away with me. This is, would you believe, oh, the pattern's in here. Bear with me. Let me just get the pattern out because I've got it in my, there it is. It's a bit crumpled. Carl got me this, was it Christmas before last? Yeah, so it was the wool, black sheep wool, sorry. They do Bet Wixmas. And I've got 2021s, but this was 2020. And he bought me this for Christmas 2020. Unfortunately, I was really ill with COVID. So I didn't open my Christmas presents. I think it was the end of January because I was ill for that long. So he had got me this because it was on my wish list. Obviously, we're now in 2022, but I have started it. See, that was the one there. Just a shawl with a little bit of colour work, and it's by Lynn Rowe, who I'm a big fan of, and they did it in different coloured packs, which I picked. It's with Rowan Yarns, and I picked it's soft yak, 75% cotton, 15% yak, 9% nylon, and I picked the kind of mauve colours, not pinks, but I didn't want black and white because white yarn with me would just get really mucked up. So I haven't sewn in my ends, which you should expect with me. That is normal. Sometimes I do, but when I'm really enjoying, oh, see, look, I fell asleep again. Seen the theme with me. I think I've been exceptionally tired. I will say that is my defence. But yeah, not quite finished that one. I have to make an effort to make sure I'm at the end of the road to show them. So I've started this, and you started off up here, and then obviously you have your increases. Did make a mistake. I don't know what I did on the increase. I think I actually didn't increase. It's like a yarn over increase. Obviously when it blocks it will stretch a lot. I'm really enjoying this. It's a really nice pattern. It's well written. The yarn is lovely. It's really soft and it's really nice to work with. It's not a splitty yarn, which sometimes I have worked with that type of yarn, and it's really annoying because it doesn't, you know, you catch the thread and then you don't take all the thread across. But yes, that is the shawl I started. So what I would do is I finish the cowl off. Sometimes the cowl come out with me. I was doing the sock knit and I had the cowl. So I did do stuff when I was away. I didn't feel like I did a lot, but I did. We had one rainy day, so I got to knit for quite a while for that. So I love that. But yeah, so that was that pattern there. But this yarn is lovely. So it's that. So that's another whip that I haven't finished. I've got that on the go, and then I've got, so what else have I got? I didn't show a crochet blanket at the beginning purely because I'm too warm. I didn't want to be under a blanket, but I was supposed to show, which I've just noticed in the pile of stuff, that I was going to show a crochet cowl. It's not finished. I'm debating whether to do a quick tutorial on my channel for it. I think a few people have got granny stitch cowls out there, but this is one that I've done that fits my neck fine. I'll insert a picture of, I did gift knitting a couple of Christmases ago where I actually did or crocheted a load of these. It was actually before lockdown, so it would have been in 2019. God, that's fine, isn't it? How quick time goes. I haven't finished it because I do longer rows, but that's what I was working on before I went away. I think I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to write up, and I'll do just like a little free pattern on Instagram or on my website. But I might do a little tutorial on it because it's a really easy cowl to do. It's not one that you do in strips, it's one that you crochet round, so you have to make sure you don't twist. You obviously start off with a starting chain, and then it's 2 rows of your trebles, so where you've got your 3 trebles. This is using Stylecraft, is it Bellissima yarn? I'm trying to think if I had a ball because I was working on some of it before. So it's nice and soft. So I've made these in Stylecraft batik yarn, which I love that yarn. That makes a really nice cowl. It's also great for using your odds and ends. What I will have to do is see how much yarn it takes for the 2 rows, because then we can look at using scrappy yarn. So that's something I'm working on at the moment, and if anyone's interested, maybe have a comment below if you fancy me doing a little video on how to make one of these granny stitch cowl, because they do I do them taller. This one's obviously not. Oh look, and she hasn't done the ends. That's how you know it's not finished. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. I really like them, but I did give a lot of them. I think I had like a production of them for the team that worked for me at the time. I think it was like 6 I had to make for Christmas. But they love them. I love crochet anyway, don't I? I'm actually doing crochet at the moment, but it's a pattern test for a designer, but it's hush hush. I can't share anything with it, but I'm halfway through that, so I'm back to crocheting. So I haven't been knitting this week, I've been crocheting. She's causing a bit of jip there. I'm having a few problems there, and I'm noticing that knitting doesn't really affect it, but crochet does. Probably what's caused it in the first place. So never mind. Patterns, what was I going to do? Right, I'm going to do some, no, I'll come back to patterns in a minute. Let's do the giveaway. So weeks ago, I sent off the yarn bag to the winner. To Paula, that went off and she has that, which is great. I'm slightly delayed because I'm on holiday. I said that I would give away a skein of Winnie's 50 grams sock yarn. I'm just going to wind the skein up because I am wound it. Because whenever I do my skeins, I always check that there's no, because sometimes the yarn can bleed. As much as even the most experienced yarn dyers, you can get the odd mishap. I just wanted to check there wasn't any issues with it, hence why it's undone. And I've now wound it up shockingly. So this is the skein of yarn that I'm giving away, which has an ecru colour in it. It has pinks, it has a little pop of limey green, it's got some lovely pinks in it. And I said I would give away a 50 gram skein of yarn, which is here. And I just wanted people to comment on how they were keeping cool in the heat, because when I recorded then we seem to have had quite warm weather, haven't we? It's not ideal. It's all over the place, isn't it, that we're struggling with that. I'm just having a... So I made a note on my show notes, as they're called. And Jake picked this winner because they had COVID. And because his poor old mum's had it twice, he was kind of like, they've had COVID. That's who I'm picking. Cheer them up. It's very thoughtful. So the person who has won that skein of yarn is Angie Roberts. And I'm pretty sure Angie Roberts has won before. So it does prove, if you comment, I don't get thousands of comments, which I'm fine with. But if you comment, there is a chance you'll win and you could win again. So Angie Roberts, well done. Congratulations. Jake's picked you. Hopefully this will cheer you up. And if you can just drop me a message just so I can make sure that it is you I'm referring to and I've got your address correct still. So yes, congratulations. Let me know and I will send that to you. So what I'm going to do as well is... going to give away for the next one, what I want you to do for this podcast is, first off, comment, are you happy me doing giveaways on every podcast, or would you rather me do a bigger giveaway every second podcast? I want to do I want people to participate and to enjoy it. I want to do a giveaway on Instagram, which I still haven't sorted. But yeah, let me know if there's anything that you think would be fun to do. I want to do, I'm looking at doing a group in Ravelry, but if I'm honest, it's all time. I have a proper job, unfortunately, which gets in the way of all this lovely stuff. So what I was going to do was give away some minis. Minis. So I'm going to give away a set of 5 different minis. I want you to comment below, having come back from my holes, where's your favourite place to go on holiday? Or if you've just been on holiday, where have you been? What was it like? Or if you aren't able to go on holiday, because you know what, not everybody can. It's a weird time again. Everyone keeps talking about all the gas and electric and utilities. I'm not even going to go there. This is a happy place. But even if you're at home, what have you done? You know, you might have decorated the whole house, or you may have done gardening, or spent time with the grandchildren, or gone for walks, or slept. But yeah, comment below on what it is you've done as your holiday. Because I do like to know, and I'll always comment. I always do respond to everyone's comments. I think that's important, that you have some interaction. And I also appreciate people commenting. It means a lot. So I will show, because I've put some of them over there, I will be putting in 5 different Winnie's Minis. There'll be different shades just for you to have a play around for socks. So there's a couple, and there will be 5 different coloured minis for the prize for this podcast. So comment below. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. So patterns. Let me have another drink. I have a lot of patterns. A lot. In my Ravelry. A lot of free patterns, but I also do support. There are some fantastic designers out there. And I have a habit of, I don't know if habit's the right word, but I print my patterns off and then I'll draw all over them, and then they'll go in the recycling or the bin. And that's not very productive or sustainable, is it? So I have them on my iPad so I can, you know, mark them off that way. But sometimes, particularly where I was away, I want a pattern, you know, a little bit of the pattern with me. And I'm not kidding you, the sock pattern I had with me looked like the dog had eaten it. It was trash by the time I'd finished it. So I have there all my paper patterns I'm working on. So what I've decided to do is actually laminate, because I have a little laminator and I have lots of laminator sheets, and then I can draw on them and reuse them. I've got some little silver rings, so I can link them, punch a little hole in them and have them all on a ring. I did some in A4, and then I thought, well, actually, if I print them in A5, because I can still read them, they're portable to go in a bag when you're on your travels. So that's what I was going to show you. But also, I was going to show you patterns that are on my to-do list. So I have, this is a new pattern. So I mentioned, big fan of Stylecraft, and you are trying to get down now, are you? Come here. Sorry, dog. Flying dog. Ooh. There we go. Bye. Sorry, dog couldn't get through because I've trashed this area. So big fan. Yeah, where was I? Big fan of Stylecraft. They've brought out a lover poncho, and they've brought out a poncho pattern, which is lovely. And it's using. Let me check the yarn. Poncho. It's in special XL and special XL tweed, and I actually have the special XL tweed in like a petrol blue, and that's what I'm going to make this with. and the needle size is 9mm and 10, yeah, 9 and 10 mils, which are USA 13s and 15s, but in the UK it's 9 and 10 mils. That means it's going to grow really quick. So I'm going to have a go at doing that. So what I've done, which hopefully isn't making too much of an annoying noise, laminated them so I can use a, you know, like a whiteboard marker. I was very excited when and I can just write notes on it or wipe it off. But also I decided one of my little Jane Stitch bags to have some on A5. These are perfect. So the sock ones, there aren't many pages. I'm just going to find where the sock one is. Watch. Yeah. So this is Crazy Sock Lady. This is a free pattern, so I'm not showing anything I shouldn't. I have wrote good old Sharpie at the top, purely to save on printing. I didn't print the actual, because you end up with photographs, lovely photographs of what it looks like, but I didn't print with that. So I ended up with just page 2 and 3, which is perfect. So when I go, I haven't got my yarn bag with me. Find that hard to believe. I've got tons of yarn bags, but I haven't got one right near me. That would sit in my yarn bag. And you could always put post-it notes under the bit you're working on, which would work, and you could just peel them off. That to me works for me. I've printed them off on A5. I do have A5 paper that I printed off, and so they were one piece together, and then I just got my cutter and cut them down. I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs here, but perfect for me. So now I can just carry it in my yarn bag, do whatever. I also find that these will still work on your magnetic boards as well. So that was what little light bulb moment for me. There's probably loads of you already doing it, but for me it felt like a light bulb moment. So I have also another pattern I want to make, another Stylecraft one, Highland Heathers. I've got this yarn, really decent price yarns as well, they're not expensive, and I got it originally because of crochet down there. Of course I can knit. Look at that. So I'm also going to be making some of them. I think the wrist warmers I would definitely be making first. So that's also as part of my... They're probably making a really annoying noise, aren't they? They're rustling. So I have printed that. Right, where is... Oh, so I follow the Grocery Girls, have done since lockdown, and on their recent podcast they were talking about a jumper that Tracy started it. I think Tracy started it, called Esther, yeah, by Camilla Vad. I'll show you the picture of it. And because it's on my list of I will make this, it's on there. I'm hoping that you can't see it's paid for pattern from memory, so I don't want to obviously share anything I shouldn't. Yeah, I want to do that colour work jumper. And I've printed that off ready for when I start making it. So there's a new pattern out that it's a paid for pattern, but I'm a massive fan of Ho He Locatelli, who I discovered via the Grocery Girls, and she's always bringing out different patterns. She's brought out the Lone Skein pattern, which is literally as what it says. It's a one skein shawl, which is to me fantastic. You can, I've got a few of them, we've all got them, whether you've got that one colour that you bought but you've not used because either it's too nice to use or you actually don't know what to use with it. So you can use it with a skein of fingering sock weight yarn. I would imagine you could use it with different yarn if you wished, but obviously you would get a slightly different outcome. And it's literally just come out this week, I believe, and that's the Lone Skein by Johi Locatelli. She doesn't, just reading on the back here, it said this shawl can also be made using heavier weight yarns, resulting in a larger shawl. So if you had a couple of DK skeins, it would work for that. But it looks lovely. It looks really drapey. I don't think I've got any other pictures because I'm trying to reduce what I print off, you know, rather than having loads and loads of photographs. So I've got the bigger one for when I'm at home. Well, obviously because I'm Sado, I did a little A5. So these are the ones that will come with me. Seeing what else? Yeah, so I've got my little, these are the vanilla socks ones by Crazy Sock Lady. And these are the fingering yarn. The other ones I showed you with the DK, it fits onto an A5. That's perfect for me to put. I printed double-sided and that will last now, whereas before I've printed this pattern several times because it really does get trashed. So that's what I'm doing. It isn't for everyone, obviously. So that, and also with what are we in now? We're not far off September, so now it'll be your autumn makes, Halloween makes. I love a pumpkin. I've obviously only crocheted pumpkins, but I intend to knit pumpkins. Is Blue Sky Fibres has it's a free pattern to do knitted pumpkins. They are adorable. And this is knit using 2 strands held together throughout. So that's how you get that kind of mould effect. Not everyone will be able to read the back or the front for that matter. I'm all right close up. Short-sighted, forget it. I can't see anything, but long-sighted, I'm fine. But you could, you know, rather than doing that, you could cut out bits or chop, you know, cut and paste bits out of it and put it onto one sheet. Yeah, so that's on my list to do. So hopefully, if not for next podcast, for the podcast after, I'll have some knitted pumpkins as well. So they're patterns I'm looking at doing, working on at the moment. It's a 1 skein shawl. I've just got to finish my secret crochet project. Once I've done that, then I'll be picking up the needles and getting back to knitting, because I'm actually missing knitting. I've got knitting withdrawals. So what else? Winnie's yarn, that's the one. So I had hoped to list more Winnie's yarn before I went away, but it wasn't an option. And to be honest, it would have been unfair to make people wait for their yarn orders. So the plan will be, I'm going to put a 20% discount onto the website, which will be holidays, will be the code. And that will give you 20% off any skeins, because I'm going to list a load more skeins of yarn. We're going to have a big shop update. That should all be live by midday on Bank Holiday Monday if you're in the UK. It's basically this Monday, which is now Saturday. And the code and the website update will all be done by midday on Monday. So it'll be a big shop update. It takes ages updating. It's quite boring too. You have to take all the photos, you have to list it all. So it's quite, yeah, take my hat off to full-time yarn dyers. It really is a full-time job. So, sorry if I'm slurping my drink. Winnie's yarn. So I spent some time before I went on leave messing about with a logo. That was getting on my nerves. So this was Winnie's original logo that I did. I wasn't happy with how it was printed out. Also, this is only on, I was messing about with the card. They're not normally like that. I wanted something a little bit more, not less fussy, but without all the colours in it. And my favourite colour is teal. No, it's not. It's turquoise. It's not teal. There is a difference. So that was Winnie's logo. I'm a massive butterfly person, massive. Love butterflies. But I thought this would be a bit more simplified. I love flowers. So I don't know if you can see that on the Winnie's wording. There's flowers within it. That's the new logo. And on these bands, it's also got where it'll tell you what it is. I was putting just normal tags on them, but they were quite time consuming. I've designed the logo the new logo and created new bands. I have got to update all of these with the bands. They're not all done. I've just put a couple of these on here to show. So I will have on the website some 50-gram skeins of yarn with 20-gram minis, so it'll be 70 grams, which are perfect for shorties. And then I will also have the, let me show you. Oh, I love this one. It'll have 100 grams, and then you'll have the option to add, I don't think I've got many that would go, that would work. There we go, here's one I made earlier. You can have the option to add a mini if you want. Now, some of my socks, like I've showed, I've done all of it in one yarn, but I also do like having the different colour toes, heels and cuffs. You might just want to do different toes. However, but that will obviously get you a long pair of socks out of it, or a couple of pairs of shorties. And then these, you can, with the 20 grams mini, you can actually get enough out of it. Enough. You have enough yarn to make your socks with it. Depends whether you want to have some left over. I love that colour set. Problem is I want to keep a lot of the colour sets myself. So I'll go through some of the sets that I've matched up. That's another set I really like. That's the 50-gram and 20-gram mini. Ignore the logo. That's obviously not, I've got to update all the logos. They will come out looking like that. There's another one with pinks. You may want to, which I can give an option, is to get 250 grams and a mini, or just 250 grams. I'm just going to work out all the different codes for it and get them loaded. I've got really bright lime green. Not a massive green fan, but I really like the lime green. That. We've got the greens, some pops of green. This has, it's a pale green, but then it's got the darker green, which I think will look really nice. I've got greens and yellows. Got a lot of 50 grams to update. That one is all on its own. There's another one, which has got some bits of green. Now this is the, it's either the Krypton or the Platinum. It's a really soft sock yarn. I've turned in such a yarn snob me, where I like really soft sock yarn. My favourites, the turquoises and blues, and it has little pops of magenta in it. So I've got those. That's the very darks. This is my mint choc chip. I had one where I'd had a little speck, because as I said before, I check them. I think it's over there, where I'm going to make it my, I'm actually going to make a pair with choc chip, because it had a tiny bit of colour, the other one did. So I've got just the 50 gram of that, and that had the brown with it, which will look quite nice, look like blobs of chocolate. Making you hungry, aren't I, talking about chocolate? And then there's the pinks. So soft, that. Sorry, I keep squidging all the yarn. Love this colourway, blues and teals, and then just a more muted blue to go with it. That'll calm down some of the colours. You'll see the different yarn bands. I literally have been playing, I didn't like that. I've been playing around with yarn bands. That took up tons of my time. I was doing that before being off. That I love that set. So I've got to go through, I've got to start naming my sets, because I've got colourways that I'm going to keep. A lot of these 50 grams are where I've been experimenting with colours, getting colours I like. Like here, it's got the grey mini skein, but then you've got little pops of colour within it, little speckles. It's another one. Things like this, these will be staying, because I really like these colourways. And they've got bits of lime green in them. Well, I look forward to hiding this myself, aren't I? And this was like a Christmassy colourway that I had done with a really lime green. That's not lime green, is it? Bright green. What do I know? I really like that. It has bits of teal. So I'm hoping to, once I get this test, crochet test, I'm hoping to get some more samples made up with these. I did start doing, I've got them up there where I've done crochet squares or the bunting. I basically need to knit and crochet quicker, don't I? Let's be honest, I can't keep on top of the samples, but yeah, I like that set as well. Plan is I have a lot of 50-gram sets going into the shop, but you will have the option if you want to get 2 50-grams. That I really like, greens. I told you I don't like green, but I seem to be going down the green route. So there's that. And this is a more muted colour. It has little bits of magenta in it and different shades of blue, but then it has the grey as well. Hoping you can see them, they're not blurring out. And yeah, the Blue Lagoon I called this one because reminds me of a lagoon. That's a stupid thing to say, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's got teals and turquoise. Love that one. I have actually pulled one of these skeins out to make some socks with. I think that, yeah, there's another one. There's my mint choc chip. I have a little, I don't know whether you can see it just there. I have like the cakes. No, I don't think the cake stands, but they're like 3-tier baskets. And it was a cream one. It was really tired, so I got the spray out, the silver spray, turned it into a bit more of a funky looking stand, and it houses Winnie's yarn, just in case you're wondering what it was. Yeah, there's my mint choc chip that had a slight error on it, but that one obviously I've had to keep because I don't mind having this splodge of it. There's another one. I can see why I've been playing with the bands. So yeah, they will have the new logo and bands on them. They'll be 20% off, and you'll have the option to pick different sets, whether you want 50 grams or 100 grams. So yeah, there's a lot of sock sets there, because obviously I've gone slightly overboard with all the sock making. I thought I'd do some sock sets. So I think that is everything. I feel like I've waffled a lot. This is me. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. I hope you like what I'm doing with Winnie's yarn. Any comments below? Yeah, I will read them all. And I am over on Instagram, should you wish to catch up with me there. I was a little bit quieter while I was on holiday, but I've got pictures of the things I've made to upload. So you can catch me over there. You can send me a message from there. And I will be back in 2 weeks. I will be back to the normal schedule. And I hope you all have a lovely couple of weeks and get some time to knit and relax, or crochet, or sleep, or craft, whatever it is that you want to do. And I will see you really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.